In today's video, we're going to be using Gingerbread Hugs. It's an oldie but goodie from the Not Too Shabby Shop. Hi, I'm Stacy. Welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy and are inspired to create. Let's go over the products we're going to use. I used Gingerbread Hugs. It's a stamp set from Not Too Shabby. I used Gingerbread Kisses as a pattern paper pad from the Not Too Shabby Shop, and these came out a couple years ago as a bundled deal with a stencil and some ephemera. Some border dies from Recollections. There's the UPC code if you want to look it up. Then we use Lawn Fawn stitch borders. They just pierce the paper. We're going to use the cross stitch one. Momenta nesting square dies. They're just frames, and we're going to use the cross stitch frame. And then this is paper tray ink that's coming up next, and I'm just using the Hugs die. And you'll see me pull it out and show you which Hugs die I used. And what got me to thinking about bringing these back out again was Jill Norwood talked about Jamie from the Not Too Shabby Shop having a gingerbread release. And I was like, oh, I have some that I got a couple years back, and I've used it. I used it multiple times back then on some different projects, and I was like, I want to bring it out. I don't have that many gingerbread stamps, and I remember I really fell in love with this image, so that's she inspired me to bring it out. And I'm going to go ahead and color these little guys up. Jill Norwood created and hosts Saturday Morning Makes. It's open to all crafters. All you have to do is use the hashtag satmornmakes if you want to enter. I'm going to go ahead and put this one under that hashtag. I'll leave all the information down below, and be sure to go on over to Jill's channel and say hi. So this is stamped with a Memento Tuxedo Black ink on Copic Express It blending cardstock, and I'm coloring lightest to darkest, and then I go back, and I like the blend if I go over it a couple of times. And so what I did was I colored in the first one, made sure I really liked how the shading and the colors looked, and then I'm just starting coloring both of the other gingies together, so I don't have to keep going back and recapping my pins, because I don't leave my pins laying out without the caps on them. I guess because I'm weird like that, but I'm afraid of mixing up the colors. I don't know if it's good for the markers or not. I've heard others say that they do that, and actually your markers last a bit longer, but I bet you the downside is you get hairline cracks, which then could allow air in and your marker will dry out, which happen with Copics often, especially the new ones. So I don't know if they changed the formula on the plastic or what happened. I don't know. I doubt it. Who knows? But people complain about it, and I've had markers I've bought and never used that have dried out, that were juicy at one time. So anyway, there's my PSA. But use what markers you have. Use colored pencils. I always say this, it's just important to create. If you enjoy making and creating, it doesn't matter what you use to color, or if you color, maybe you stamp this out and you don't color it. Maybe you die cut. Maybe you use an image that doesn't require coloring and you stamp it out in different colored inks. Maybe use stencils, whatever. Just make something. And I tried to stick with the colors that were in the pattern paper. That pattern paper has like pinks and blues, and the blues, I think there's a little bit of like a teal tone to it. And the reds on here, I try to keep more of a pink tone because that's what's in the pattern paper. Was it successful matching it? I don't know. I probably could have kept them just light like that, and it would have probably matched better, but I like contrast, so I brought in darker markers, which changed the tone a bit. But as you can see, that's an RV, so that's a red violet. So it's more of by itself, it looks almost like a bright fuchsia. So they do have a pink hue. It may not show up on camera as much. And then I'm going to go in. Did I already shade the white portions? I did, because I did that first, and I did that first because I didn't want to accidentally take those cool grays and have the red markers bleed. So color your reds first, especially if you're using really light markers next to them, because you have the risk of it bleeding. And that happened to me in the Rabbit Hole Designs card I made a week or so back. It actually bled, so that's why I was trying to start with my reds. But I'm not always successful with that, and usually it doesn't matter. Usually I can still get around it, but for whatever reason that time it bled, and it could have been the cardstock. I don't know. And I'm fairly new at using this Expressive Blending cardstock. I usually use Nina 80 pound, and I really like how this blends. It's just, there's a learning curve to it when you've been coloring with a different cardstock. And it's like that with any cardstock, really. Because they all behave a little bit differently. So just practice on whatever cardstock you use. But this does make things a lot easier. I mean, it does have a smooth blend. Are you guys making Christmas cards? I love making Christmas cards. I think a lot of us do. I think a lot of us who started making cards started with Christmas cards. And I love making other cards as well. But I don't know, I'm really feeling the Christmas spirit. So I've been getting my Christmas stamps out. And I'm going to pull out a few more that I haven't used and make you some more videos. Which I just did a voiceover for another video literally not long before this one, the same day today, but I went back and made sure it was okay before I started this one. And I've got another card tutorial I'm working on. So I said in my last voiceover, which I don't know when that one will release, that I'm trying to get ahead of the game so that I can put out some regular content for you guys. So I will do my best. My bestesses. And then I wanted the bowl just to be kind of like an off-white, you know, like the stoneware. And I wish I would have done the stripe more, allowed more of that pink to show through and not went so dark with the red. So it was more pinky to go with the pattern paper, but it still came out nice, I think. So I'm trying to change up my videos a bit. Some of because I'm using pattern paper and not creating a background on camera, I am pre-cutting all the elements. If you like to see the process from start to finish, let me know, because I can do that. But I've been trying to streamline it and find the sweet spot of leaving as much in as I can, not speeding it up so fast. And if you'd like real-time coloring, let me know. Maybe I could do like images by themselves without the whole assembly of the card in real time. And then maybe I could talk you through a little bit more of what I do, and you'll see how slow I actually color. And you'll be like, whoa, she moves like a snail. Because I do. And I did a drop shadow there. And then I went ahead and put that's an A2, a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card. And then I put the measurements for those pattern papers there for you guys. I think that one was just a scrap. The little gingy houses that I had from a different card or tag that I made when I originally got this set. And then I cut the other to fit the rest of the card. And I think it would look good either way if you wanted to put the little gingy houses on the other side or on the side that I put them on. Either way, I've been trying to use my pattern paper. I have tons of it. I said in my last voiceover, I hoard it like a lot of us. And I recently acquired a lot of pattern paper from a yard sale and from another local D stash, and I already had tons. And I'm like, let me try, because I'm in awe. Let me tell you, I'm taping that was the insert I cut. I used the frame to cut it out of the Express It cardstock, but also that Crafts cardstock. So I cut it out separately, and I was just piecing it and taping it so that I could glue it. Have something so that it stays together while I glue it. So in my last video, I talked about how I hoard it and I don't use it, but I'm in awe of all of you that can combine images that you color together with the pattern paper. So, and I really love your makes that have that, and that's something I struggle with. And I just see so many of you do such a beautiful job with it, that it inspires me. And so I was like, I'm going to try to incorporate some pattern paper into my cards. And you'll see me do scenes too, or create my own. But the last couple of videos I've made, I believe I've just brought pattern paper in, which is nice. It speeds things up a lot, but also it slows me down because I like going through all my paper, so in that sense it slows down, but the actual make itself gets sped up quite a bit when you use pattern paper. That's really nice. And I heat embossed that gingerbread, was it Gingerbread Hugs, I think it says, on a little strip of that pattern paper. It's like a little blue teal piece, like a scrap I had. And then I die cut that Hugs out of multiple heavy white cardstock, stacked it, and then I used the pink glitter cardstock and put it on top. And I really like for my sentiments to become part of the card. When I plan it and plan it ahead, I try to nest it close to the image. So I couldn't nest it on top. I could have nested on top of the image, but I nested it over that banner to incorporate them together, and put it at a bit of an angle. I liked that. And I didn't put you through the pain of watching me do all the foam tape. And then I'd use glue so I could move it around. That little element there, because I didn't quite mask off the handle of the mug, because it's a mug, not a bowl. I was originally going to put that to hide that little bit of black ink that's there. I don't know if I didn't clean my stamp well enough because I double stamped it. So, and I totally forgot, and I was going to shift the image over, and I thought that it didn't stand out so badly that it needed that, but that ephemera came from the set of this when she released it. So if you have it, there's an idea for you too. You could put it in front there. And I thought it flowed better without it. But when I was planning out the card prior, I liked it with. So you do you, whatever one you like. And those are some enamel dots that I got from Hobby Lobby that I thought matched well. You have to sparkle it up, right? So I'm using Spectrum Noir, and then I use stickles on that. It looks like a gumdrop to me. And there it is. I think it's so cute. I love those little gingies. What do you guys think? Do you like it? Do you like it? Do you like the gingies? Thanks for spending some time with me. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.